Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Just lovely to have you along for the ride. One more 10-10 start. Just one more. There's one more 10-10 start. Then in Arizona, there's 9:40 starts. I can live with 9:40 starts. That's a half hour. That half hour does a lot for my mental health. You know what else does a lot for my mental health? The Philadelphia Phillies winning. Jalen Hurts having no issues whatsoever with his new playbook or his offensive coordinator, having no issues with his head coach either, because that was a little bit of a concern going into this training camp, and they're riding around in Big Dom's automobile. Big Dom's golf cart is probably the better way to put that. If you hadn't seen it, it's adorable. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, Big Dom riding on the back. Jalen Hurts driving, Nick Sirianni riding shotgun. And they ride off the practice field together at the NovaCare complex. I loved it. As stupid as it is. You don't know much about the relationship. Everything that you have heard to this point feels like it's a little strained. And just the fact that they're riding off together, I don't know the genesis of it. I don't know if it was Nick like, hey, can I hop in with you? And Jalen felt bad and it was like, well, I guess. Come on. And he did. I don't know. The bottom line is they did it, and you'd rather have that than not. Because, look, when I talk about concerns for the season, the number one thing is I just want to see Cam Jurgens and Jalen Hurts get on the same page, and that's one of the things Kellen Moore talked about yesterday at length for how well that's going, and we'll get into the specifics of that a little bit later in the show. But turmoil, people not liking each other, spitefulness, that can build over time. And it might just be pettiness. It might just be not answering a question where it's literally teeing you up just to say something nice about your head coach. All that stuff, yeah, it's a little bit of a concern because if things don't start out well for the Eagles, how much are people going to be pointing the finger? How much will people be forceful and that their opinion is the one that is going to right the ship as the season goes on? And if your head coach, regardless of how much power he has over game plan or play calling, if your head coach and your quarterback don't like each other and there's some animosity there, well, that could lead to some bad things going on. So I'd rather everything be simpatico and everybody looking like they're getting along and being on the same page and just a little ride in the golf cart. I was surprised how that made me go, oh, okay. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't expect it. But now that I've seen it, I'm like, all right, maybe everything's okay here. Maybe we'll be just fine and dandy as far as that relationship goes. As far as the relationship between the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, Kellen Moore was raving about Jalen Hurts yesterday. We'll let you hear what he had to say about Jalen Hurts. Once again, we'll let you hear what he had to say about Cam Jurgens and Jalen and how they're getting along. A new addition of Nick Gates to the offensive line and the depth that he brings. Someone struggling in blitz pickup yesterday in the backfield. We'll talk about that. Also, where Tyler Steen is in returning to the field, a little bit of a setback and that he's just not getting the reps, but it looks like a guy that'll be all systems go. One thing I don't understand about the Eagles right now, I get competitive edge and gamesmanship. I don't get that in the preseason. Like, that doesn't make any damn sense to me. I guess Tyler Steen has to go out there and show that he can at least stay healthy, and Lane Johnson even expressed this last week, talking about how he wants to know what the starting line is going to be with maybe a week or two before the regular season actually starts, so he knows the guys he's going to be playing with on that line, especially the right guard spot. If I had to guess, it's still going to be Tyler Steen. And certainly on the left side of things, away from Lane Johnson, it's going to be Landon Dickerson. But apparently not being confirmed. Not being confirmed as of yet by Kellen Moore or Nick Sirianni or this Eagles staff in general. Keely Ringo also will get into some things that he got into in terms of the cornerback position. Really interesting battle going on there with the cornerback position. It looks like our buddy Avonte Maddox is a full-time safety now. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, unfortunately, came down with a shoulder injury. Jeff McClain, I was reading what he put out there about it, and originally he had wrote that the Eagles were saying it's not going to be a long-term thing. Jeff McClain then talked to a couple sources and said that it looks like it's going to be a little longer term. Not that it's something that necessarily should affect the start of the season, but as far as going through the rest of training camp and learning Vic Fangio's scheme and all that stuff, he could miss a little bit more time than just, it's not that big a deal. It's somewhat a big a deal as far as install goes and learning a new defense. So talking about that, Bryce Huff addressed the media as well. I forgot he existed, but there he was. He's working hard. Hey, he said all the right things. I didn't get much out of what he had to say. He was very short and sweet. If I ever committed a crime, I would want, and I had to pick, all right, one person witnesses you commit a crime. It's Bryce Huff. I want Bryce Huff to witness. If I ever had to commit a crime, Bryce Huff would have to witness it because I know he would say the absolute least to authorities. And they'd be like, I don't even know if he did it. I don't know if he saw it. I don't know. Bryce Huff, not much to offer there, and that's fine. I only listen to the things these guys say for maybe a little bit of affirmation, little inside information. But what Bryce Huff was saying was garden variety player speak. He's working hard. Okay. He's working hard. How's it going in, playing more running downs and whatnot? I'm working hard on it. All right. You do that, and then when the season starts, we'll see the progression there, right? Like 71% of the snaps and all that stuff. We'll see that, right? We'll see it. No? We don't know yet? Okay. All right. Well, he's working hard. And then the Phillies yesterday in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Zach Wheeler did it in Seattle. Stepped up with an absolute gem of a performance. Aaron Nola couldn't do it in game one of this series there against the Dodgers 2 nights ago. Christopher Sanchez, I had a good feeling. I told you guys yesterday that I had a really good feeling about Christopher Sanchez going into this start. Yeah, against Clayton Kershaw and the LA Dodgers. Yeah, against Freddie Freeman and against that Shohei Ohtani fella. I just had a really good feeling about Christopher Sanchez. 6 runs in his previous start that he allowed against the New York Yankees. He goes into LA, and he was great. He was wonderful. Early goings of the game, you could tell. I thought his control was really good. Ohtani, first pitch of the game, gets him to ground out to second. Teoscar Hernandez, he has him go up there, ground out to short. Freeman gets a double. Freddie Freeman's pretty good. How about this? 500 career doubles for Freddie Freeman right there on that play. And then he gets Smith to ground out to third. And Harper made a great tag on that play, on that throw from Bohm. I was shocked Bohm even had a play on it. But a 10-pitch first inning, including a double to Freddie Freeman. I thought he looked pretty locked in. And he looked pretty locked in throughout the game. It was a 0-0 game going to the 5th inning before Kyle Schwarber got the Phillies on the board with an RBI single, a 2-out RBI single. Got the Phillies up 1-0. That was great to see. Phillies added on tremendously well in the following inning, in the 6th inning. So that was good to see. And then the bullpen came in. Matt Strahm told a story after the game last night that just, speaking of why you listen to players after practice or after games, whatever, this is why you listen. Matt Strahm told a story. My eye isn't keen enough to tell the difference between a four-seam fastball. I'll notice a dip in velo, and I noticed that. And I went, what was that? But on the 3rd pitch, I believe it was, to Shohei Ohtani, in last night's at bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, where Matt Strahm was called upon to come in out of the bullpen and handle the business for Christopher Sanchez, who pitched into that 7th inning. He goes up to face Ohtani. First pitch fastball, top of the zone. Second pitch, he misses outside with a fastball, 92 miles per hour. And then he throws another 4-seam fastball that only clocked in at 90 miles per hour that Shohei Ohtani swung through and made the count 1-2 in favor of Matt Strahm. Strahm then threw 2 fastballs outside the zone, got Ohtani to foul one off, and then he threw him a slider in the dirt, slider away, and struck him out on that in the 7th pitch of the at-bat. The 3rd fastball that he threw, the 3rd pitch that he threw, Shohei Ohtani, clocked at 90 miles per hour. And I went, what does Matt Strahm have that's 90 miles per hour and a fastball? Turns out a cutter. I don't think of Matt Strahm throwing a cutter. I think of throwing that slider. I think of throwing that fastball. And those are the ones that he makes his career on. That's his bread and butter. He hasn't thrown it since spring training, and he tells a great story about why this was the moment to throw it. In this instance, against Shohei Ohtani, to get out of that seventh inning. It started off badly. That was the only inning that really started off badly for Christopher Sanchez. Kike Hernandez went up there. He grounded. He reached on the infield single to short. Then Paje stepped up there and walked. So he had two runners on right out of the gate, nobody out. That's where they went to Strom. He got Ahmed to strike out, or excuse me, line out to center field. He got Barnes to strike out swinging, and then he got Ohtani to fly out to right field. That's exactly what you wanted to see from your All-Star last night. You also got a little bit of a concern there with Jeff Hoffman giving up a solo home run to start things off in the eighth inning, and that was against Teoscar Hernandez. And it was a slider. It was a weak-ass slider. 88-mile-per-hour slider out over the middle of the plate, and he belted it. And it just kept carrying, too. 424 feet. But that was the last run of the game there for the Dodgers before the Phillies brought in Carlos Estevez, who gave us a little bit of a scare in the ninth inning. Are they really going to get this going? No? Okay, good. All right, Phillies get the win. Phillies got the win last night. Best record in the National League. Game and a half up right now on the LA Dodgers for the best record in the National League. They have one more loss than the Cleveland Guardians, so the Guardians technically still the best record in baseball. But what was a great thing to see last night was that the Atlanta Braves absolutely got spanked by the Milwaukee Brewers, 10-0. That was great to see. So the Phillies lead in the NL East is back up to 6.5 games now, I believe. Let me just double check that for you guys real quick. I thought I had the standings up here. I did not. Don't be difficult. 6.5 games up on the Braves, 8 games up on the New York Mets. Braves have won 6 of 10. Phillies only 3 of 10 so far. But since that Brandon Marsh catch now in center field in Seattle, the Philadelphia Phillies are 2-1. That's a winning record, baby. And also, with the win last night, I keep on mentioning that May 24th date as when the Phillies started to show that they're they could have a little kryptonite taking their effect. Since May 24th, with their recent slide, including last night's win, though, the Phillies are now 30-32 in their last 62 games. That's since May 24th, when they went into the Colorado Rockies series in Colorado, and they lost 2-3 before losing 2-3 in San Francisco against the Giants. So that's what we're going to get into today, folks. Buckle up. It's going to be a ton of fun. Let me start with football here, because I'm the more I'm learning about Kellen Moore, the more I like, and the more it sounds like him and Jalen Hurts are really working on this whole thing together, the better. We had played for you last week, Kellen Moore, talking about the run game with Jalen Hurts and definitely using that. But yesterday he talked about being smart with it. There's a limit to it. No one has asked him about the tush push, the brotherly shove, or the quarterback sneak to see if that's going to be used as often. But one of the questions that did come up yesterday, and that particular play, if it's still in the playbook, which I would assume it is, if you have a play that works, 96% of the time, you're going to use it. So one of the things that he talked about yesterday was Jalen Hurts talking about his relationship with Cam Jurgens. And one of the things that I really liked about it was that they are in constant communication. Those were the words used yesterday by Kellen Moore about his rookie center in Cam Jurgens and his now franchise quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Those two have been constantly communicating, always going back and forth, not just on the field, but also in the film room, figuring out the timing of it all. He wasn't asked about playing time necessarily, but he said that relationship between Cam Jurgens and Jalen Hurts is something that is ever growing. And that's what he wants to see from his quarterback and his center. And they'll figure it out. Jalen Hurts has said they'll figure it out in terms of who's going to call it, who's going to shift the protection and all that stuff. But it seems like it's going to be a pretty fluid situation. And as far as playing time goes in preseason, it doesn't sound like that's anything that's nailed down at this point. Did talk about Tyler Steen coming off the injury, how he's coming along, said everything's going well. He does have some things to make up for, but everything is tracking well for Tyler Steen. The best thing, though, was the overall game plan. And I know it's not going to be as bad as it was last year, I don't think, with Nick Sirianni and his hands-on, as we know. But it sounds like a lot of people feel free enough to add their 2 cents on how this is going to go. Whether that's Jalen Hurts, whether that's Nick Sirianni, whether that's Doug Nessmeyer, the quarterback's coach. It seems like a lot of people are going to have input here, which is good that a lot of people will be offering suggestions. But I think it's better that there is a clear-cut decider of what gets used and how it gets used and how it gets and when it gets called in a game. And that person is Kellen Moore. Talk about what people are saying. When I hear the head coach of the football team literally say it's Kellen Moore's offense. When I hear the offensive-minded head coach of a football team talk about how Kellen has tough decisions to make, that's not something anybody in a head coaching position is lying about. That's not anything they're improving the truth on. That is right between the eyes, sugar, no sugar added, just giving you the information. So I can rest assured, and I believe we can rest assured, that the Philadelphia Eagles have Kellen Moore 100% in charge of this offense. So when it comes to the 2 cents that you hear from Nick Sirianni, who's just coming out of a cornerback's room to walk into a quarterback's room to hear the game plan or whatever they're going to be working on that particular week, and he adds his 2 cents, Kellen Moore can go, that's interesting. Or, oh, thanks for that, and then never use it. It's all on Kellen Moore's shoulders. But one of the things that definitely seems like Kellen Moore is doing more and more is soliciting Jalen Hurts for his input. Because as we learned from last week, he is absolutely keeping his quarterback in the loop, and not only keeping him in the loop, but helping, making sure he's in the loop with decision-making. What do you want to do here, Jalen? Where do you think you're most successful? When a quarterback is involved in it, especially if he's your franchise quarterback, that's ownership of the offense. That helps with so many different things. It helps with even that animosity I talked about with the Eagles letting go of Brian Johnson, someone who's known Jalen Hurts since he was 4 years old. That could build a little animosity. Hold on, you fired my guy, you brought this guy in, gave him all the power. Brian Johnson could have used all the power last year and less of Nick Sirianni, but whatever. But Kellen Moore comes in, his experience, his success that he's already had in the league as a play caller and offensive coordinator, that speaks for itself. And then him giving Jalen Hurts the opportunity to have ownership of this offense. All right. I'm going to be calling the plays here. I'm going to be designing all the things we're doing. I'm going to help you out as much as I can. You tell me how I can help you more. How do I put you in the best possible position to have success? And so far, according to Kellen Moore, this relationship between he and Jalen Hurts is going swimmingly.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's done an awesome job just continuing to build and evolve with this thing as we go. And so, I think the communication has been critical. It's been awesome, his with the players, from player to player, but also just our collaboration as we continue to build this thing, getting good feedback on things we like, things we want to adjust, and continue to keep building that. And it's been a really fun task.
I'll say it again. I think I've said it every day for the last 2 weeks. The fact that this is going so amazingly well, I do not want to take that for granted for a second. I don't want to take a second of it for granted because this could go the other way so easily. And that's why, whether it's just this great relationship that's developing between Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts, this great working relationship, this exchanging of ideas, everybody being on the same page, Jalen just being off the charts, amazing in practice, not throwing an interception. Wow. Oh, that's great. Jalen riding around in a golf cart, driving around his head coach, Nick Sirianni, when those two are not supposed to be on the same page, not even supposed to like each other. Now they're driving around a golf cart with Big Dom on the back of it. This could be going the other way so fast. And it is going, like, even the eternal optimist. Like, I think about it sometimes like this. This is how my brain works sometimes. And you can make of it what you will. But taking calls for a long time in sports talk radio, okay? There are certain things that I liken to if they actually happened, What would my reaction be if it was a caller telling me this? I feel like it's just going to be great. I feel like Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni are going to be buds, and Kellen Moore is going to come in, and he's really going to take to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to take to him, and the relationship between Cam Jurgens and Jalen Hurts is going to be great. And I feel like everything. Jalen's not even going to throw an interception in training camp. That's how great it's going to. That's how great this is going to be. I'm going to be like, my response to that would be like, excuse me, Mr. Fanboy. There's no way it could possibly go that great in the early goings of camp. There's no way. That's too optimistic. That's too rose-colored glasses. That's too Disney glasses, whatever you want to call it. That's too perfect. And right now it's some injuries, certainly. Cooper Jeans kind of started things off. Tyler Steen. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson most recently with the shoulder injury. Yeah, that's some bad things there. But as far as the offense getting on that same page, it's all going down, man. Even the biggest optimist imaginable, I did not see it happening the way it's been happening so far for the Eagles. And Friday, we get our first glimpse at it all against the Ravens. Down there, Balmer, hon. Maybe I'll do another show from my brother-in-law's carport after the Ravens preseason game. Just kidding. But yeah, so far, so good with Eagles camp. Bryce Huff did talk. Feels like he's progressing. Loves going against Lane Johnson. And he says he's doing well against the run. It was just nice to know that Bryce Huff was there. Oh, Bryce Huff is there. That's right. Oh, there is he sitting at a micro. Okay, Bryce Huff is there. Keely Ringo addressed the media not yesterday. I think it was 2 days ago that he addressed the media. But I got a chance to watch it yesterday. This guy is just screaming, don't forget about me. Just screaming, don't forget about me. Him and Isaiah Rodgers really battling it out for that opposite corner role from Darius Slay. Quenyon Mitchell looks like he has just taken over the slot corner job. That is his job now. The questionable thing, Avonte Maddox, where they use him, if they are going to use him as a full-time safety. With the injury to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he was playing that spot yesterday. James Bradbury actually got leaped over. James Bradbury was at the third-team safety. He got bumped up to second yesterday, but passed over by Avonte Maddox. Interesting. Isaiah Rodgers, Keely Ringo. A true battle on the outside corner spot. As far as your linebackers go, Zach Bond continues to turn heads. Devin White continues to be like the lock. And Nakobe Dean still very much trying to figure it out. I mentioned one player in particular that was having trouble with blitz pickup. Will Shipley would be the one to be talking about in that light. That's been an issue. Needs some work. What I read from Jeff McClain yesterday was Nakobe Dean and Ben Von Sumeren, as you would assume, after Bond, after Devin White, when they make their moves and get behind the line of scrimmage and a running back is there waiting, the guy they're having the easiest time with is Will Shipley. Not great, but not a total shock. But those are your two weakest links when it comes to getting into the backfield and actually getting a sack or providing pressure on the quarterback. And Will Shipley is having his struggles as far as that goes at this point. Yeah, that's what I got for you as far as the Birds go. Your Philadelphia Phillies. I really did want to, and I do want to believe that Brandon Marsh catch in center field against the Mariners is what will change the luck of the Phillies and have the ball bounce in the right direction for them. I'm going to cross my fingers and I'm going to still believe that they're 2-1 since that catch. Yesterday's game, even though it wasn't a high-scoring affair through the first 5 innings of the game, I really enjoyed it. The Phillies, I thought, for the most part, looked locked in. They looked locked in defensively. I thought offensively, it just was a matter of time. Clayton Kershaw, of course, just finding his way. I thought the Phillies were, if I had one critique of the Phillies yesterday throughout the game, especially in the first couple innings, I thought they were wildly aggressive with Clayton Kershaw. For a guy coming off shoulder surgery, you know he's not going to pitch more than 75, 85 pitches. Why not try to get into that bullpen? And you saw Kyle Schwarber in the first at-bat of the game for the Phils. He struck out at a curveball, 2-2 pitch, came inside, and just swung over top of it, was fooled on it, and that was that. But then Turner, a 3-pitch at-bat. Harper, a 1-pitch at-bat. 9 pitches in the first inning for Clayton Kershaw. Gee, make it easier for him, why don't you? And Kershaw, and they kept on referencing during the broadcast, 91 miles per hour. He had not gotten over 90 with any form. He hadn't gotten up at all, but with any form of consistency, 90, 91. He was getting 91 yesterday, pretty consistently coming back from the shoulder surgery, just his third start. Then in the second inning, again, another 1-2-3 inning, another quick inning, a 12-pitch inning. Phillies start getting on him a little bit more in that third inning. Hayes got the leadoff single when the inside fastball and a 2-2 count, put it into right field. That ended up being a 16-pitch inning, so it was steadily going up. Fourth inning, same type of thing. Also, real quick, the third inning was odd because Hayes tried stealing on a ball that was a little bobbled by Will Smith behind the plate, and it was a 3-0 count to Kyle Schwarber. Why you would try to be aggressive in that situation, I don't know. Like if it was 0-2 to Kyle Schwarber, I get it because you want to give him the new count in the next inning. Worst case scenario, I mean, you give him the new count in the next inning. But it was 3-1. He could have had runners on first and second with still 2 outs, but whatever. Ended up not being a big factor in the game, but just thought it was one of those things that was odd. Fourth inning rolled around again, and Schwarber stepped up, struck out looking on a 3-2 slider. Turner got the single. Harper got the single, back-to-back singles in that spot right there. Turner was able to take third on that, first and third, 1 out. Boom, unfortunately, strikes out, so nothing doing there. And then later, JT Realmuto stepped up, and he grounded out to second to end that threat. First and third, 1 out. Think you have an opportunity to score. You do, but you don't score. You had the opportunity, but you didn't score. Fifth inning is when Kyle Schwarber got that RBI single. Hayes got a 1-out double. Marsh got hit by the pitch. Marsh getting the start against the lefty yesterday. Rob Thompson said after the game he was actually impressed by what he saw from Brandon Marsh against Clayton Kershaw. First at bat against Clayton Kershaw, he lined out to center field. Second at bat, he got hit in that fifth inning. Made it a first and second 1-out situation. Sosa then struck out on a splitter away on 9 pitches, a 9-pitch at bat. So that by this point, they were working Kershaw a little bit. Schwarber stepped up there, got a 3-2 fastball, I believe it was, out over the middle of the plate, put it into center field for an RBI single, brought Hayes around to score, pushed Marsh to third. Kershaw came out of the game. Kelly came in. Joe Kelly came in through 5 pitches to get Trey Turner and retired the side. And then he did not come back out. That move ended up coming back to bite the Dodgers in the butt. Because what ended up happening was Grettriol went out there. Right-handed pitcher came out in the 6th inning. Harper fouled out to third. Bohm got the single. Now 24 straight games of Bohm being able to get on base. The longest active record in baseball. Realmuto stepped up there on a 3-1 count. Grettriol pulled a hammy, hurt his knee. I don't know. But in a 3-1 count to JT Realmuto, he had to be taken out of the game. So they abruptly have to go to Honeywell out of the bullpen. Honeywell came in through 1 pitch, walked JT Realmuto, made it first and second with 1 out. Then he faced Nick Castellanos, who got the RBI single to center field, bringing Bohm home to score, put JT Realmuto on third base. Then Hayes went up there and struck out. All he saw was screwballs. That's it. He saw screwballs. That's all Honeywell was throwing. Threw 4 screwballs. Marsh went up there and worked a walk. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Edmundo Sosa, it goes from a 2-0 game to a 4-0 game when Edmundo Sosa took the first pitch he saw and put it into right field for a 2-run single, just like that. Schwarber ended it, flying out to right field to end that on another long at-bat for Kyle Schwarber. This one, another full count. 6th inning, bottom of the 6th inning, the Dodgers get a run on a RBI ground out by Will Smith. So it's a 4-1 game. Phillies are able to get through that 7th inning. 8th inning, they get the Dodgers get the home run from Teoscar Hernandez. Made it a 4-2 game. That was off Jeff Hoffman, but other than that, Jeff Hoffman was dealing. Ninth inning comes up. Honeywell faces Edmundo Sosa. Edmundo Sosa is down in the count 0-2 and gets a fastball, just cut inside, and he belts it down the right field line on an 0-2 count, wraps it around the pole for a home run on the 0-2 count. 353 feet, makes it a 5-2 game. Very next batter, Kyle Schwarber says, hey, I want to get on the home run action. He gets a slider that hangs up. He hits it 420 feet off the pole. 420 feet off the pole in right field. It's a 6-2 ball game, and that's the way it would end. Carlos Estevez came into the ninth inning. Not a save situation. A little concerning for how it went there in the ninth inning for him, but he got out of it. Only gave up one run. Only gave up one hit, but needed 24 pitches to get through that inning. Phillies picked up the win. Again, Braves lost last night, so you're 6.5 games up. Of course, you beat the LA Dodgers, so that means that you're another game and a half up on them. A full game up on them. In total, a game and a half. You picked up that game last night, though, so that was good to see. Phillies do have the second best record in baseball behind the Cleveland Guardians. They match the record with the Yankees, and then after that, it's the Orioles. The Orioles have one more loss than the Yankees and the Phillies. Good to see you. After the game, I mentioned that Shohei Ohtani showdown with Matt Strahm in the seventh inning of the game. Matt Strahm got brought in when it looked like Christopher Sanchez, who threw 89 pitches last night, started to leak a little gas in that seventh inning. Good that he came out, so he technically pitched 6+ innings of work. But 2 runners on, Matt Strahm calmed the storm. He faced Shohei Ohtani. I mentioned the third pitch he threw him in that 7-pitch at bat before he got him to fly out. Here's Matt Strahm telling the story about what went in to that at bat or that approach to Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani until that final pitch?
A mixture cutter in there.
Okay,
that was the 90 mile an hour. The 1-1 pitch was a cutter?
Yeah.
Okay. They call it a force.
No, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You don't throw too many. You don't throw too many cutters lefties, no?
I remember the last one I threw was in spring training to Neil Cruz, and he hit it about 470 feet foul.
So what made you want to break it out there?
I trust JT.
Don't do that to me. All right, there we go. All right, I think you did get the end of that. The end of that. What made you throw a cutter when you don't throw cutters? And you don't throw cutters apparently because of pitch in spring training, which is hilarious. You know, you work on your pitches in spring training. Oh, that one got jacked. All right, not throwing that one. Why'd you throw it there? Because I trust JT. Fair enough. That was a huge part of the game. The bullpen was so huge in this game because you saw what happened when the Dodgers all of a sudden had to make an abrupt decision and go to Honeywell where they didn't expect to have to go to the bullpen as quickly as they did. And that was what changed the game. And then Matt Strahm coming in and being able to absolutely slam the door. And Matt Strahm has struggled as of late. Like, he hasn't been the lights out guy out of the bullpen that we have come to know and love for the vast majority of the season. You know, a guy that was an all-star this year. And then Jeff Hoffman gives up another run, third consecutive outing for Jeff Hoffman where he gives up a run. But after that, settled in beautifully. And Rob Thompson, talking about it after the game, even said that he knows he gave up the leadoff home run to Hernandez, to Teoscar Hernandez. But other than that, he was great. Other than the leadoff home run that went 424 feet, other than that, he was great. And he was great other than that. But let's just ignore that big blemish before it. And let's see. I think it's 4, 5, 6 runs in his last 2 outings, his last 2 appearances. Of course, the 4 runs he allowed against the Seattle Mariners, not ideal. Should have been 5 runs. He kind of got lucky. On what should have been the 5th run. But that's where the Phillies are at last night. Sanchez, Strahm, Hoffman, Estevez came out of the bullpen for you last night to help close out that victory. Today, Phillies will be back at it tonight, rather. 10-10 start time. Phillies will have Tyler Phillips back on the hill. He'll be looking to rebound from just a horrendously horrible start against the Seattle Mariners. He started out that series and was, he was terrible. Gavin Stone gets the start for the Dodgers. He lost to the Phillies. He was one of the pitchers the Phillies faced. That 25-year-old righty, 9-5 on the season with a 3.63 ERA. But he's one of the guys the Phillies faced back on July 10th, before the All-Star break, before they faced the Oakland Athletics. In that start, he went 4 2/3. He allowed 4 runs on 9 hits, and it was a 4-3 loss for the Dodgers, a 4-3 win for the Phillies. So one more 10-10 start time. We did do a crossover last night on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel with my man Pete Fox of Locked On Sports Los Angeles. So we went back and forth a little bit. And just, who we talked about quite a bit was Freddie Freeman. Like, we got to watch Freddie Freeman with the Braves all those years. I'm so glad he's out of the NL East. Like, just talking about the talented player that he is. An MVP, a World Series champion, a guy that seems to always produce, find a way to produce. And 400 doubles on his career. That's pretty impressive. To go along with 300 plus home runs as well. And he just doesn't show any signs of slowing down. And the universal DH now, he could hang on for a couple of more years after he's done with the Dodgers. Pretty incredible talent. Just from a baseball fan perspective, just really forget about all the fandom and all the ties and all that stuff. Just from a baseball fan perspective, one hell of a ball player, man. Just so much fun to watch. So, that's what we're looking at tonight for the Phils. Olympic Games, Joel Embiid, a hell of a lot better performance yesterday. I really don't get why people are making a big deal out of when he either struggles or doesn't play. Like, once Jason Tatum didn't play, doesn't that kind of tell you that it's going to be a pure matchup based thing? Like, doesn't like the people that hate Embiid want to use that against him? I don't get it. Like, so does Jason Tatum suck too if he gets benched? Whatever. Gets the night off because the coach doesn't like the matchups? I look, Embiid was doing his thing yesterday. Whenever I see him play, whenever I get a chance to see him play, I want to see him play, whether it's the NBA or the Olympics or whatever. I love the fact that even in France, he's the heel. Just like it's the NBA. And sure, you could say the French fans could certainly, or the French, I guess, could certainly say that they snubbed him by not playing for him and playing for America, the United States. But I love what Joel Embiid had to say. I love that it was for his son. You got to give him a break on that. But he's using the outside shot well yesterday. Scored, I think it was 16 points last night. Another Team USA win. So keep that coming, JoJo. Keep that coming. Let me tell you about MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. Download MyBookie to your phone. Create an account. Use promo code Farsi. Get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. Want to bet on the world of basketball? You could do it. Want to bet on the world of baseball? You could certainly do it, especially throughout the summer. On MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. Once again, download the account. Download the app, create an account, use promo code Farsi, and get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie. MyBookie.ag. How about the Game Time app? Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farsi, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Want to go see the Phillies when they come back into town after the Diamondback series? Download the Game Time app to your phone. Save $20 off your first purchase. They have flash ticket deals, last minute ticket deals. They even have ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. So what does that mean? That means if you're going to see a headliner, you might miss the opening act, the middle, if you're going to see a comedy show or a concert, but you'll see, guess what you'll see? You'll see that headliner that you so desperately wanted to see for so long. And you could also, how about this? You could also take advantage of the Game Time guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less money elsewhere and at any other ticketing site, the Game Time app will credit your account 110% of the difference. How about that on the Game Time app? Once again, download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsNation.com. Embiid had 14 points last night, 3 of 3 from, I mentioned he was using the 3. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, 7 rebounds for Joel Embiid, only 1 turnover in the ballgame. 14 points in 12 minutes, not too shabby. There you go. Let's get to the chat check and see how you wonderful people are doing. Hopefully the people in the area have stayed dry. A lot of rain in our area yesterday, in the Philadelphia area. Where is my comment section? There it is. Sean Gillespie, good morning. Finally, actually won a season series. They won a season series against the Dodgers. They win today to win their second consecutive series against the Dodgers, hopefully. April, what's going on? Ring the bell. Twiz, what's going on? James Alexander, what's going on? Good morning. A win tonight will help the Phillies regain their momentum. You win today. That's 2 in a row. You win 1 tomorrow. That's what's called a winning streak. It has happened before. The fact that that line has been on repeat in my brain since the A's series, it's unhealthy, is what it is. So I'd really love for like the Phillies to win tonight and then go into that Arizona town, right, and win there too. By the way, speaking of Arizona, did you guys see the thing? Did you see the thing yesterday in Arizona? A cotton candy burrito. They are selling at Arizona Cardinals games. You heard me. A cotton candy burrito. It looks like it's cotton candy used as the tortilla, as I like to say. And then inside is like other candies and M&Ms. I'll have a bite, but I don't discriminate with food. Like people are like, I'm a sweet eater, I'm a salt eater. I eat. I just eat. I don't know what the hell you're talking about and differentiate between the two. I eat both. Often quickly one following the other, and then spice. But anyway, I think I could only get like 3 bites in before I'm like, I need to. This is just not. Nope, can't do it. And I'm a burrito fan. Like I make Loltuts. I make her Nutella burritos. Like she loves those. I make myself peanut butter burritos. They are delicious. Peanut butter and jelly Doritos with a little pretzel crisps in there as a little snack, end of the day snack. You know what I mean? I'll do that. But a cotton candy burrito might be pushing it a little bit. Okay. That's where gluttony enters the mind. That could be my 13 years of Catholic school. I don't know. But a cotton candy burrito sounds like something that shouldn't exist in life. It's one of the first things you hear. You hear it and you go, oh no, that's a terrible idea. Like cotton candy burrito, go on. Oh, that's literally like something the Oompa Loompas would eat on break. Yeah, no, that's probably a bad thing. Probably a bad thing. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Anyway. Sean Gillespie, Kellen Moore looks like a college freshman. He does have a baby child. He referenced yesterday. What did it come up? Was it Will Shipley? I think it was Will Shipley. Talking about watching a lot of Cole Beasley. No, I'm sorry, Britton Covey. It's Britton Covey. He was talking about watching a lot of Cole Beasley film. And he thinks he could be like Cole Beasley. And Kellen Moore's like, yeah, I see it. You know, but from going from playing with Cole Beasley to then being the coordinator, I was like, damn, that was a quick transition. He was the backup quarterback on the Cowboys, and then boom, he was the offensive coordinator out of nowhere. Twiz, what's going on? If you haven't already checked out the Pivot podcast with Devin White, Philly never had a linebacker like me. Ooh, I have not checked out the podcast yet, but Devin White, you keep that energy, friend. I love that. Sean Gillespie driving around in a golf cart singing "My Buddy, My Buddy, My Buddy, My Buddy, My Buddy." My buddy and me. That's one of the jingles. I'd say that and Crocodile Alley are the two jingles that remain in my head from my childhood forever. Yes, I will. You run, you slide, you hit the bump and take a dive. Oh, Crocodile Alley. It's brought to you by Mattel or whatever it was. I don't know. Sorry, I had to. Sean Gillespie or Sean Kilrain, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Late to the show. I was late to the show. So you and I have that in common. See you tonight, Farzy. Yes, tonight. With that's not Fuji, my man Al. I think I read this maybe 2 weeks ago. Fuji was trying to get me on his program, and my cousin was hitting me up, and she's like, "Hey, you doing Fuji's show?" Not realizing that Fuji and Al do the show together. So I'll be doing the podcast. I'll be on podcast. Those guys tonight on their podcast tonight. Wait, huh? What? April. Going to be needing a boat by the end of the workday. Okay, that makes more sense than a boot. Oh, sorry. Please stay dry. That sounds like diabetes. Yes, the burrito certainly sounds like instant diabetes. Even Buddy the Elf is side-eyeing that. You like sugar? Is there sugar and syrup? Yes. Anyway, thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Phillies trying to win a series tonight against the Dodgers. For those that haven't been following, the last time the Phillies won a series, it was against the Dodgers. That one was a sweep. This one, not going to be a sweep, but hopefully it's going to be a win. I'd like to see that happen. In that start that Gavin Stone had against the Philadelphia Phillies, if you remember the way that game went, the Kyle Schwarber started it off with a home run, led off the game for the Phillies with a home run. Whit Merrifield got an RBI in that game. He has just been terrible. No improvement for Whit Merrifield since joining the Braves. And then the Phillies were able to tack on a couple of more runs later, kind of dinking and dunking in that fifth inning. A couple of infield RBI singles for the Phils in that one. And they were able to get the 4-3 victory over the Dodgers. Tyler Phillips, as I mentioned, is getting the start tonight against the LA Dodgers. He is coming off just a horrendous outing. So he had the complete game shutout. He was great. A lot of up-downs, though. He comes into this one. It's I believe it's the first time he is getting a start after a win. So usually he's been called upon to be the stopper ever since the struggles began. But now it's different. Now he's looking to be the continuer. For those that don't remember, Tyler Phillips went out there for an inning and inning and 2/3 against Seattle Mariners, 8 runs, 3 home runs. 2 of them, I believe, were over 425 feet. And he gave 5 hits, 8 runs, 3 home runs, 3 walks, 5 hits in an inning and a third. Previous to that, he had stacked in 15 scoreless innings. Not bad. Let's get more of that. More of that would be great. More of that today, please, Tyler Phillips. Please and thank you. Again, that game gets underway at 10:10 tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Make sure you download the MyBookie app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzy to get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus. I will be back on Locked On Sports Philadelphia tonight with my man Pete Fox of Locked On Sports Los Angeles. We'll be giving you guys our instant reactions to Phillies Dodgers Game 3, wrapping up the series out there in LA before the Phillies head to Arizona for a 4-game series with the Diamondbacks. Once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Farzy Show. And of course, make sure you guys like and subscribe to Jacob Media as well. Catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully see you tonight. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And yes, stay dry. See you. Bye.